Yes, sir. Sir, very happy evening to all. My dear lovable students, this is a video regarding the timetable for the coming May examination. Many students who have already studied with us, who are preparing now, who have subscribed the virtuals, have asked, sir, how to complete the syllabus for the coming May. So I was about to put a video for last 2-3 days since our face-to-face class is starting. I was little busy. So that's why 1 or 2 days has been pushed. I have made a fantastic and a brilliant timetable for you. More or less, this will be the timetable for the coming exams. Not only for May, even after May, this timetable will be valid. What primarily we have done is every subject of group 1 and also group 2 has been classified into 5 categories. Basically, which will be called as part number A, part number N, part number M, and part number C and part number A. It is having a classification of ANM CA. Sir, every subject, if you see accounts, advanced accounting, I uploaded this as a separate video for advanced accounting, but now I am doing this as a cumulative video. In advanced accounting, the first topic what you are supposed to be studied is schedule 3. The number 2 is cash flow statement, read with the financial statement related accounting standard, which is AS1, AS4, AS5. Once you prepare this part, move into little big topic, which is amalgamation, which is read with AS14. Then the asset-based standards, AS2, AS10, AS13, AS26 and AS28. Then move to a little comparatively small chapter called as internal reconstruction. Read with indirect based asset-based standard, AS11, AS12, AS16, AS19 and AS22. Then a very smaller chapter, branch and buyback, comparatively small before consolidation. Complete the presentation based standards such as AS9, AS7, AS17, AS18 and AS20, and finally you complete the consolidated financial statement read with AS15, 24, 25 and 29. The same I have made even for the law also. Even law also I have classified into 5 categories. One is preliminary, dividend and charges. Small kuti chapters to start off with. Then incorporation, prospectus and share capital and debenture. FEMA, general clause and deposit. Meeting, interpretation of statute and books of accounts. Auditor, foreign company and LLP. So like this, a beautiful 15 chapters are there in law, as we already know. Basically 5 parts, so 3 chapters in a part, which I have mixed based upon the weightage, plus and minus of that. Then coming to DT, very important topic, especially this coming attempt. I have first asking you to study the salary chapter, income from salary. Then income from house property, PGBP, capital gain, TDS and TCS. And in part number 2, you have to prepare IFOS and capital gain because these two are connected topics. Then you prepare kuti topics like clubbing of income, set off and carry forward and chapter 6A reduction. Then you prepare the basics. This is purely basics part. Actually, everyone will prepare only this part first. Sir, I am asking you to prepare this nearing to examination like residential status, scope of total income, basics. Then no need to spend double the time. Otherwise, you will be studying here. Again, you have to revise here. Then finally, before the examination, computation of total income, and once you know what is a tax payable, you can file the return. This is what the last 5th part. With regard to IDT, my dear lovable students, part number 1 is supply, tax rate for composite and mixed supply, levy and collection of GST and the composition levy. In part number 2, complete exemption. Then these all are types of supply such as time of supply, value of supply and place of supply. In part number C, registration and ITC, And the last part, return, TDS, TCS, e-way bill and payment of tax. Basically, my dear lovable students, the procedural aspects. Are you really serious to clear in this coming May examination? Then I will give you a fantastic timetable for you. This is the beautiful way in which you have to prepare. As we all know that now we are in February. Actually, I am supposed to upload this video on February 1st. Because of face-to-face class commitment, we have started class very recently, 2 days back. I was very busy with the admissions and meeting parents. So I have literally, very busy with the arrangements for the face-to-face. I will tell you, this February month, you classified into 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Basically, February 1 to February 15 and February 16 to February 28. And March, you classified into 2 parts, March 1 to March 15 and March 16 to March 31st. And in part number 5, my dear lovable students, April 1 to April 15. You do one thing. In the coming 10 to 15 days of time, you complete part 1 of advanced accounting, part 1 of law, part 1 of DT and part 1 of IDT. That means by February 15th, okay fine, by February 20th, you complete all the first part of all the 4 subjects. It should be a time-bound time base. This is a speciality of this timetable. By February 15th, 20th, you have to move into the next part, part number 2. You complete part number 2 of advanced accounting, of law, of DT and of IDT. By that time, my dear lovable students, by the end of February, we will be completing 40% of what is required for examination. That too not one subject, all the subject, equal importance. That will only work. Then, with regard to part 3, which is basically from March 1 to 15, what you are supposed to do is part 3 in advanced accounting, part 3 in law, part 3 in DT and part 3 in IDT. By that, we will be completing 60% of our syllabus. In part number 4, March 16 to March 31st, we are supposed to complete part 4 in advanced accounting, part 4 in law, part 4 in DT, part 4 in IDT. By the end of next month, we'll be completing 80% of the total syllabus. And in part number 5, which is on April 1 to 15, you have to complete part 5 of advanced accounting, part 5 of law, part 5 of DT and part 5 of IDT. 100% you can complete. Basically, 15 days you have to spend for the one part. So, 15 days for part number 1, 15 days for part number 2, 15 days for part number 3, 15 days for part number 4 and 15 days for part number 5. So 15 into 5, 75 days you will be preparing, my dear lovable students. Still, we are having solid 15 days before us for the examination. This 15 days you can classify it into 3 categories. For paper number 3, paper number 2 and paper number 1, last 5 days revise tax. The next 5 days revise law. The next 5 days revise advanced accounting. Exactly after this you will be having your May exam. You can ensure you are 70 plus in each subject. When you are studying this part number 1, only prepare part number 1 for the next 15 days. When you are preparing part number 2, revise part number 1 and study part number 2. When you are preparing part number 3, have a cumulative revision of part number 1 and 2 and study part number 3. Then you will not feel that I forget anything, I lost the touch, I don't have the writing practice, everything. In part number 4, when you are preparing part number 4 for 15 days, every subject when you are preparing, my dear lovable students, have the cumulative revision of part 1, part 2 and part 3. And last, when you are revising, studying part number 5, revise all part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4 on a cumulative basis. My dear lovable students, this is the timetable even for our virtual students, those who are subscribed to the virtual classes of group 1. Many were texting to the admin that in what fashion we have to see the videos. This is the fashion you have to see the videos. Complete part 1 of advanced accounting. We started uploading my classes for advanced accounting. I started the recording. Already law is available, my dear lovable students. We started recording the DT with the amendments. Already I uploaded 2 demo videos also. IDT is already available. So now you focus and complete part 1 of IDT. On a daily basis, you will be getting the upload of the advanced accounting and DT. So you split your time, my dear lovable students. On a day, you have to give for the 4 subjects. One is advanced accounting, other is law, then DT and to the IDT. You have to study all the 4 papers on a daily basis. And anyone who have not subscribed to our virtuals, no problem. If you are self-studying also, you can use this timetable. This will be very much useful for you. This is very much useful for you. If you are planning like this, you will be in a perfect study timetable. You can check yourself that whether you have completed your part A within 15 days. Otherwise, what is the problem? No, we are keeping with one subject and we are studying for 3 months without knowing that the time is going. So immediately 5 to 10% normal loss, everyone's life will be there. In part number N, you can spend the next 15 days. Part number M, next 15 days. Like that you can make, my dear lovable students. I hope that I am clear with the idea of what I am trying to say to you. So, if you want, you can download this PDF, which will be useful for you. And if you want, in the same fashion of the classes, we have launched now a PowerPlay 90, which will be useful for your May examination, my dear lovable students. I hope that this subject classification and order of classification will be useful for you. If yes, or if any further requirement from your side, you can update me in the comment section. I'm here to answer that. I'm wishing you all the very best for the coming May examination. We'll meet at the appropriate time. Thank you. Bye-bye for May.